On July 1st, 5 Catholic bishops will be consecrated without the Pope's permission. The Vatican says this means automatic excommunication. But Bishop Athanasius Schneider says no, the excommunication wouldn't even be valid. The bishops have no intention to separate themselves from Rome, Schneider argues. You cannot be punished when you have not the intention to do it, according to canon law. It sounds reasonable. If they don't mean to be schismatic, how can the Church call them schismatic? Schneider speaks with authority. He served as the Holy See's official Apostolic Visitor to the SSPX seminaries in 2015, appointed by Pope Francis himself. He's seen the society from the inside. He knows their masses include prayers for the Pope and the local bishop, evidence, he says, that they remain in communion. But Bishop Marian Eleganti of Switzerland isn't buying it. To declare a questionable intention doesn't help, Eleganti fired back. It's a way, saying that they don't intend schism, to deceive people about the objective schismatic nature and effect of such an act of disobedience. Eleganti's point is brutally simple. Canon law doesn't care about your feelings. Canon 1382 states that any bishop who consecrates another without a papal mandate incurs automatic excommunication, period. The law penalizes the act itself because some acts are so destructive of unity that good intentions don't matter. It's not about what they claim or declare, but about the facts they create, Eleganti continued. It's not primarily about intentions, but about objective facts and behavior. He lists 4 facts that trouble him. The SSPX acts with full autonomy without papal mandate. They operate with bishops not in union with the Pope. They maintain hundreds of priests who aren't properly incardinated. They exist in what he calls jurisdictional nirvana through self-authorization. They claim not to want a church beside the church, while creating one and behaving in a way that corresponds exactly to that, Eleganti said. The SSPX sees it differently. In their February 18 doctrinal statement, they argued that an episcopal consecration not authorized by the Holy See does not constitute a rupture of communion, provided it's not accompanied by schismatic intent or the conferral of jurisdiction. Their new bishops, they insist, will assume no jurisdiction against the Pope's will. Father David Pagliarini, the SSPX Superior General, framed the dispute as a genuine case of conscience rooted in what the Society sees as a rupture with tradition since Vatican II. For them, the crisis in the Church is real: doctrinal confusion, liturgical disintegration, souls starving for the faith. They feel they have no choice. Even Cardinals Gerhard Müller and Robert Sarra, both supporters of the traditional Latin Mass, have spoken out against the consecrations. Müller warned that no Orthodox Catholic can invoke reasons of conscience if he withdraws from the formal authority of the Pope regarding the visible unity of the sacramental Church. Sarra asked poignantly, is it to desire the salvation of souls to tear apart the mystical body of Christ in a way that may be irreversible? Schneider, however, sees a double standard. He wrote, "There are strongly influential, high-ranking clergy in our day who simply hate all that is authentic Catholic tradition, and these same people show the greatest possible tolerance towards all that is ambiguous and heretic in doctrine and liturgy, as it is the case with the so-called German synodal path." So who's right? The answer depends on what you believe the Church is. If the Church is primarily a visible society united under the Pope's authority, that acts that break visible unity matter regardless of intention. If the Church is primarily the guardian of tradition, and that tradition is being betrayed by those in authority, then preserving it may require acting without permission. On July 1st, 5 bishops will be consecrated. The Vatican says this means excommunication. Schneider says it wouldn't be valid, and Catholics in the pews are left to wonder, when the shepherds can't agree on what breaks communion, how do the sheep stay in the fold?